This year, 70,000 Americans will die from obesity, 5,000 here in New York. We've got to do something about it.
70,000 Americans.
70,000 people will die from obesity.
And what would be the statistics of people who are dying of starvation versus people who are dying from obesity?
For the first time in the history of the world, more people will die from overeating than undereating this year.
Isn't that remarkable?
It's all happened in the last 20 years.
Yeah. Letterman, Michael Bloomberg takes this issue very seriously, but unfortunately a bit of a blow for him yesterday where the state Supreme Court knocked down his plans for to sell large big gulp drinks. We've got Michael Saul here to tell us about this. Is this the end of the plan for the large size soda sale ban that the mayor had in plan for us?
Well, at the end for the time being, the mayor said that he and the administration are going to appeal the decision, so we'll see what an appeals court does. The mayor was asked yesterday whether or not he would try to get this passed through the city council. One of the chief things that the judge said in his ruling yesterday was that the city should not have gone through the Board of Health, which is a panel appointed solely by the mayor, and should have gone through the municipal legislature, which is the city council. But when asked at a news conference yesterday whether he was going to take the matter before the city council, he said no. So I guess it'll be up to the courts.
Yeah. Now it seems that there's some are arguing that there's an inconsistency in the court's ruling here because that same authority was used for a smoking ban and for other health-related bans that he put through, and there wasn't any challenge to that. Is that reasonable?
I mean, well, I guess we'll see if the city prevails on that. As far as the smoking ban, that actually did go through the city council, okay. So that did not go through the Board of Health. One of the big things that went through the Board of Health was a ban on trans fats, but right. As our research yesterday showed, even after the Board of Health ruled on the trans fat ban, the city council, soon after approved that trans fat ban. So, but that is indeed the argument that the city is going to make, that many things did go through the Board of Health and that it had the proper jurisdiction.
It seems to be a rather a legal technical concern rather than the nuts and bolts of the law itself, though the judges did come out and sort of take some issue with the way it was being implemented, right?
Sure. I mean, the judge talked about the rules being arbitrary and capricious. He said that there were a whole lot of loopholes in the way that the regulations were proposed. But you're right in the sense that the judge wasn't making a ruling on whether or not sugary drinks are healthy or not healthy. The judge, essentially was saying this was not the way to go about doing this.
And what is it therefore for this case? Because clearly the mayor has chosen to use this as something of a platform, I think, for the national stage in some respect, right? I mean, he's trying to, it seems like with a lot of these measures, he's trying to make a stand on an issue that really is not just affecting New York, but everywhere.
Sure. I mean, the mayor has made public health the centerpiece of his tenure at City Hall, and he hails the smoking ban as the most important thing he's done during his time there, because he says it's going to save so many lives. And likewise, with this effort, the idea was to combat obesity, which is a growing epidemic not only in New York, but around the nation and around the world. And just yesterday, before the judge told him that he couldn't go through with his ban, he was talking about how other jurisdictions throughout the country should be following his lead.
Well, one of the issues might be the state itself, right? Because there seems to be one of the arbitrary things you refer to is that whereas certain institutions regulated by the city couldn't sell these things, those that are regulated by the state could. I mean, clearly, if he was to get support elsewhere on that might help him out, right?
Right. I mean, one of the things that the judge talked about was, one of the famous loopholes here is the big gulp loophole, where 7-Eleven is exempt and free to do what it wants because convenience stores and supermarkets are regulated by the state and not regulated by the city, so they weren't part of these regulations. So presumably, if the state and other places were to move forward, that would help in terms of getting rid of these loopholes.
So what's the timetable now? What do we expect? An appeal? When and how?
I think the appeal will be filed soon, but appeals courts can decide things quickly, slowly. It's no clue, and the mayor's in some respects is running out of time. His last day at City Hall is December 31st, and who knows what a new mayor will do.
All right then, Michael, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate that.